targeting what its defense minister called the repressive apparatus of the regime in Tehran. Reports from Iran say strikes have hit police headquarters, the state broadcaster, and the notorious Evin prison in the capital. Separately on Monday morning, Israel's military confirmed it struck access routes to Iran's Fordo nuclear facility after US bombers hit the site over the weekend. The UN's nuclear watchdog says it expects very significant damage at the heavily fortified site. Iran has retaliated with a sustained missile barrage on Israel Monday morning lasting over 40 minutes, causing power outages for around 8,000 people. As the conflict entered its second week, Iran's foreign minister went to Moscow on Monday for talks with Vladimir Putin over what they called common threats and common enemies. Tehran has vowed its response will have everlasting consequences. In contrast, Defense Minister Israel Katz said, for every rocket fired at Israeli home front, the Iranian dictator will be severely punished.
Ranian strikes. Qatar's Interior Ministry declares security situation stable. Day 11 of the escalating hostilities between Iran and Israel moved in a different direction on Monday, for Iran launched airstrikes on a US military base in Qatar. But a US official later said none of the missiles hit their target. Iran has confirmed that it launched an attack on US forces stationed at the Udeid air base in Qatar, but a US official later said that none of the missiles fired hit their targets. That's how day 11 of the intensifying conflict between Iran and Israel ended this Monday evening. A missile salvo apparently all shot down by Qatari air defenses that put countries in the region on high alert and cancelled flights to the Gulf. French President Emmanuel Macron decried what he called the spiral of chaos, while Iran said the door to diplomacy was open, provided US and Israeli attacks stop. We're closing down our live blog for the day, but before we go, here is a recap of the main developments this Monday evening. Our team will be back with more live updates from Tuesday morning. Day 11 summary. Iran launched a salvo of missiles at the US air base Al Udeid in Qatar, but no rockets hit their targets. The strikes prompted Syria and Bahrain to go to high alert, and Kuwait and Egypt cancelled all flights to the Gulf. Qatar's Interior Ministry has said the security situation in the country is now stable. Tehran said it had launched the same number of missiles at Qatar as the US had used in its Sunday strikes on nuclear installations in Iran. Macron said spiral of chaos must end and expressed solidarity with Qatar. Iran's parliament speaker, Mohammad Bagher Khalibaf, announced the suspension of cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency (IAEA). Israel's military warned Iranians it will continue to attack military sites around Tehran over the coming days. Iran's chief of general staff of the armed forces said his country would respond to the United States bombing of its nuclear sites in a proportionate manner. The leader of Hezbollah in Lebanon indicated that the group would not join the conflict between Iran and Israel for now. EU Foreign Policy Chief Qater has called on Iran to close the Strait of Hormuz, a vital corridor for energy supplies. A UN fact-finding mission said that some of Israel's strikes on Iran may have broken international humanitarian law, citing the killing of civilians in an apartment block and 3 aid workers in Tehran. State media in Lebanon said Israel carried out airstrikes in parts of the country's south, including Hezbollah strongholds. Like and subscribe for more. Thanks.